Yeah, I believe you can, and you're already halfway there. That's Theodore Roosevelt. Well, that is inspiring, and of course, we also had something to do with trust yourself. What do we have kind of there?
Like we usually come and give you, inspire you, and give you interesting facts about life in this time of the hour. You know, there was a thing I saw actually, and about Albert Einstein.
Albert Einstein.
Yes, and he said everyone is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, its whole life believing
that it's failed, that it has failed. Stupid.
So there is everyone has a place where their strength is.
Okay.
Definitely. That's like an example he gave. A fish is supposed to be in the water.
Do you see that relates to something which we talked about some time back? That the two most important days in your life, the day you're born and the day you discover why you were born. There's nothing special about the day you die. But anyway, it's just transcending to another realm. But if we are to really look into that, the genius part of you, that's you realize that you're a fish, but you've been looking for land, but you've been surviving on land, then go look for lake. That's what it's trying to tell you.
There's no way you can survive actually on the land if you're a fish.
You're a fish. You can't survive.
You can't ever survive.
That is deep, by the way. You see, it's like you're born a monkey, right? And for all along, for the times you've been brainwashed to believe to take on an identity that that imitates you, but it's not actually you. So that identity you've been surviving on, you're a monkey, but you are in the lake. You're there. But the day you realize you're a monkey, and monkeys are supposed to, they live in trees. Now that's the most important day of your life. That's the second most important day of your lifetime, away from the time you're born. You know, we all do businesses, and it is okay. I mean, you do a business and it's working out, and I also like to do it, which is fine. It's okay to get inspired. But there is a business that is meant for me.
Yeah, true.
And actually, business is passion. I call it passion. Anything that you do with a gift, that is a supernatural gift that you were given by God, can actually be business. You know, sometimes people think that when we talk about gifts, we talk about preaching, or talk about gifts from God, talk about preaching and all that. But you can be gifted to be a computer wizard. It's a gift, you know. The gifts can be there, and you can actually capitalize and make some good money on that gift, you know. So it's quite wide, but that is all with self-discovery. And with self-discovery comes with quite a lot of aspects. I mean, we try out so many things. Somebody could be asking, you know, how do I find out who I am? You know, in most cases, they say that when a child is born, one of the first way you know what the child is going to be is what are the child's first interests. You know, if he likes holding radios all the time and listening to music, I mean, you probably think maybe. But you know, the confusing bit of it is that we do lots of things when we're a child, because we're trying out this and that. Personally, I remember when I tried to, way back, we had a lesson for crafts. They could teach us how to make baskets. They could teach us how to make there's these round things that Aganda used during introduction ceremonies. I don't know how to call it. Skipped my mind, but I realized it wasn't me. I mean, I made things and they were funny. I'm like, what is this? You see? So I just could realize that probably this is not me. And if I failed it from a childhood age, I was primary 3. I mean, if I continued to pursue it, probably I would have gotten frustrated. So I decided not to get into that. That wasn't just really my lane, but I realized that I wanted to write stories. I wanted to write a lot. And I had the passion to write.
So, you know, maybe in short we should say maybe some people may be misplaced.
Yes, there is a huge possibility of being misplaced.
Because, I mean, because the life we're living these days, it's about the money, you know.
But you see,
doing something you do not feel, but you still have to do it because
but I believe that's the worst place you can be.
Yes, that's the worst.
Because you can't be productive. You're doing for the sake of like anybody else to do something, and you go. There is no impact, and it catches up with you with time.
Yeah, true.
It catches up with you. So I believe it's important to look for the money, but it's much more better if you earn the money from your passion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Now, like, if I could give an example of Sanders for KFC, after he started working, went to military, did lots of things,
Yeah.
and for that time he was in for the money. Imagine that
Exactly.
time he realized the moment you do something you actually like, do you realize you attract? Because
You
you're
attract.
doing it with passion.
Yeah,
You attract.
definitely. You attract people. You attract investors. You attract all.
You attract.
Yeah.
So definitely, you find yourself in a position. Most of us actually, I must say recently, we are confused. We are we are doing what we do not want whatsoever. You're there, you just go grumpy. You go to work. You're grumpy all day
You got to go through.
all day through. You're grumpy. You just do. You do for the sake.
Yeah.
And you hear someone saying, let me just do it.
Let me just do
Let
it.
me just.
That let me just do it attitude is very worse.
It is actually.
It's quite worse, by the way.
It's quite worse. Let me just do it.
And you see one thing about being passionate. It's like, when I give an example of the people that watch translated movies. There are different people that translate these movies, but there is this one guy which people like so most, which you all know, But you see, when people watch this guy, he translates the movie with passion. Personally, I like him. He makes it lively. You feel like you want to watch this movie. Why? Probably movie is where his passion. And by the way, when you're doing passion, you're not working. It's lifestyle. You don't feel like I'm working, and it might seem too easy, and you might feel like you're cheating even the people you work with. But why? And you see, when you perfect that, oh my goodness. Now that's why you see there is this aspect of whereby people get jealousy over you. Why? Because they feel like probably you're not doing anything, but it's because you've perfected your craft to do something. So you go in there, and in minutes you're done out there. And actually, once you start to attract even jealousy, people being against you, just know you're in purpose. Just know you're doing the right thing. Because once people start to feel like you're not doing enough, just know you've perfected your craft. Because for them, they struggle to do things. What you take to do in 1 hour, it will take them 7 hours. Let me give an example. If you've like in music, an artist can go in studio and actually make a song in 20 minutes and it's viral. And then there is one who will go and make it for a week and it's even average. So such an artist will feel like, but this guy, there's that jealousy and all that.
These rappers they tell you, I just woke up in the morning and started rapping.
You see that? Why? It's lifestyle. This is what you do. You love what you're doing. You don't forcing life. There is that thing they call forcing life. You don't forcing it to yourself. So it's quite very key and important from that perspective. There is something you mentioned about Mother Teresa that she mentioned. There is no key to happiness. There's no such a thing like a key. The door is always open.
Ow.
That is way high. You see. It's like when the Bible talks about a man that is rooted in truth, he prospers in everything that he does. So here, there is a level you reach, and it's not about who you are or self-discovery. It's not about whereby even a monkey can survive in the lake. Those are the dimensions we're talking about. But anyway, that is will depend on how much knowledge you've amassed. That's why knowledge is very key. You could find that Albert Einstein was genius. He wasn't gifted, right?
Yeah, he was never gifted.
But was genius.
Curious.
You never know. Out of curiosity, that things started to flow with ease. Because when you know how things work, you'll find that you'll be able to sing because you know how singing can how one becomes a perfect singer. You can play football because you know what it takes to be a good, because of the knowledge you know what it takes to be a good footballer. You know, you can do anything because of the knowledge you've amassed yourself. You know. Yeah, I know there is a dimension where a fish can't survive on land, which is okay. But what of that fish which can survive in land? What has that fish done? It has just gone beyond. It has gone ahead to study what does it take to survive on land. And that is able to counteract the biological process that was put in there because it's higher.
Yeah. I mean, because naturally fish are supposed to be in the water, and once they're out, they lose, they need to be moist, so they are dry. There
must be a way out. It's like, how do you tell me that a plane heavy tons, thousands and thousands of tons can fly up? How is that? Of course, you put laws of physics, you put all this together.
Yeah.
So meaning, there are also laws that the fish, if the fish gets to understand that, okay, for me to survive on land, I have to do this. My pores, I breathe through the abdomen, the fish breathes through the gills, right? So how do I need to? You will still survive there.
Wow, that's deep. That's really deep.
That's what I believe. You can still survive there. But anyway, that calls for immense sacrifice and getting to understand how things really operate. It's not something that you just learn into there. Well,
actually, someone was asking me about a book club and reading
reading.
Yeah. So you see, the thing about reading is that you get knowledge. It's not about reading maybe a book, and there are things, like maybe let's give an example of watching movies. People just watch movies for the sake of entertainment.
Personally, I don't watch movies for entertainment. I learn something from the movies.
Yes, there has to be a learning point in the movie. Mostly be keen with the words people say.
The words people say.
Actually, always cautious with every little detail. That is why me watching translated movies sort of a bit difficult for me.
For you.
I want to listen.
Which is fine.
Yes, which is fine.
Which is fine.
Yes,
I mean, it's more like, I know the challenge is that there are translators that go off script. But you see, it's like, it will be hard for you to understand a movie about space. However much you may listen to all the details, there are facts that will be spoken related to space that will confuse you. So what the translator does, he goes and researches everything about space. So by the time he goes to watch, because you will see things that will mention things and you're like, now what are you're talking about the cosmos. What are you meaning by and you're going to hear quite a lot. I'm just imagining it's a space movie,
Yeah.
You're hearing about Oppenheimer. I mean, all that, and you're like, oh my goodness, what is this? But you're hearing, but you don't even know what they mean. So that's the purpose of them. They go beyond because it's their profession. For you, you're not a translator, you're just watching to enjoy it.
I always have my phone on me. So when they say something I don't understand,
you research.
I'm like, oh, so that's what they mean.
Which is fine.
I mean, that is how we've gotten knowledge.
And not so many people do that.
So many things. So that we have read a lot, we just see something and you're curious to know what it is, what it is. So, I mean, that is the beauty about being curious. You find out, you know more facts than most people do not know.
Yeah, and when it comes back to the company that you keep, the people that you work with, the people that you work with determine a lot how far you're going to, what kind of knowledge you're going to immerse yourself into, and so many of that. Well, that is it for our inspirational moment. And now let's take a look at what's trending out there.
Oh, well, this is at Smart 24 now, and it says, that was the point, the ministry approved a policy of at least a primary school per parish, a secondary school and a health center 3 per sub-county, and at least a health center 4 per constituency, and with the gaps that have been filled by the bank coming directly to support these projects. So we shall definitely be affected. That is according to Honorable Dennis Nyangwesu right there. Still, people are talking still on the issue of Bank of Uganda announcing withholding support. And this is Alimu Muhammad. It says Lubumba was in Uganda and professor, and he told His Excellency, the President of Uganda, that World Bank and IMF will stop giving money if they do not support the LGBTQ, whatever. Oh, there was another one, adding AI. Of course, Museveni thought it was a joke. Now the World Bank has suspended financing to Uganda. Wow. So people prophesy low-key. People know things low-key that we do not know about.
True, very true.
And this is Aspire Jim, and he says Uganda can adjust after World Bank cuts without losing much. Reduce parliament and cabinet to half. Okay, that could be a point. And of course, cut a state house extravagance that alone would do. Now, but alas, they will squeeze. They will squeeze the ordinary people, and that is why it is actually there.
Okay, that is at Fox Zone here. In 2006, Eritrea rejected over 200 million from foreign aid, and in 2007, it rejected $100 million.
That is development loan that was offered to it by the World Bank. Now the country hardly accepts foreign aid, so it has a self-sufficiency policy called live within your means practice.
Andrew, there is this thing about they can toss you around, and it's really disturbing. I don't know if people never get tired of this tossing around and.
To get the loans.
Yes, this is King Fahad 17, and he says World Bank suspends financing to Uganda after enactment. The funny part is thinking the money has been reaching.
That's a fact. People speak facts, by the way. Facts.
That's the beauty about X, whatever it's called. That is this is at Uganda, UG. It says this World Bank issue will only affect the rapid rise of apartments in areas of Nigeria and Tanja. We as Ugandans won't be affected by this because we have actually not been getting this.
So it's only going to affect the rise of apartments, malls.
Yeah.
No, that's what he's trying to say, literally.
Yeah.
Malls, buildings, skyscrapers.
Real estate. Because people are taking, people have not been getting the money. They want to have the hands-on feel.
So it's been going in a few individuals. So those individuals that have been getting the aid, so are the ones that are going to be affected, but not us. Actually, life is going to continue as normal. Literally, that's what they're trying to say.
Yes, but we may be affected as ordinary people.
I don't think.
Because things are going to squeeze us.
But they have, for the past time where the money has not been come, when it was coming in, the few individuals were taking it.
Anyway,
and it didn't reach us, but we survived. Didn't we survive?
We did survive.
We survived.
Regardless. Yes, all in all, Ugandans have been begging the World Bank to stop funding the dictator.
The dictator.
Time has finally come.
Let's see what happens next.
Oh, Ugandans have been begging for it now. They've gotten it.
Yeah. Be careful what you wish for.
Yes, be careful what you wish for, definitely.
Why did that statement become so popular, by the way? Was it a movie? Be careful what you wish for. I remember that statement is familiar.
And it's usually in movies. It's in
movies. But there was a movie where a horror movie which made it so famous. That I've forgotten the movie. You wish something and this happens. Well, that is it for now. It's exactly 23 minutes past 8, and at this point in time, still to remind you that as I speak right now, the markets on the Zabo platform are on. *92# is simply the code for you to participate, and here you will be availed with options to buy bonds and securities for just 15,000 Uganda shillings. Now the markets open at exactly 8:15 a.m. They'll be running all the way to 15 p.m. That is East African time. Effective Monday up to Friday. Apart from the weekends and the public holidays when those markets can all be accessed. But of course, despite that, you have the rest of the days to capitalize and make money. That's something which I believe is quite key and instrumental when it comes to your financial growth and development. That will make this a reality. And also remember, on top of *292#, you have to register with your national identification number for you to proceed efficiently. and and your card number at the same time. Zabu says my money, my future, and Naltex East Africa tells you, well, you got to do something new for yourself. And remember, it is 2023. Now Smart Means Business takes a break, and we shall be returning with what's happening in business, entertainment, and sports at the same time.
Smart 20